All right, I thought I'd film myself filling out the answer key for the practice quiz. That way it might help some of you just watch step by step how these are working. The first problem says, is -1 a solution to the system? And if a point is a solution, it's going to work in both equations. So all you need to do is plug it in to both of them. It has to work in both. So for the first one, 4 times -1 plus 3 times 4, right? -1 goes in the x spot, 4 goes in the y spot. And if that point works, in other words, if that point is a solution, the left and the right side should be equal. So I get -4 plus 12 equals 8, and 8 equals 8. So the first equation works. Second equation, 3 times -1 plus 4 equals 0. Well, -3 plus 4 does not equal 0. So if it doesn't work in either one of these equations, or both, then that point is not a solution. That point happens to be on this line, but it's not a point on this line. So in other words, these lines can't cross. So then you'd say no. But you need to show both equations and whether or not it worked. Okay, number 2 says solve using substitution. Well, the second equation is already solved for y, so I don't need to do any rearranging. 3x minus 8 is y, so that means I can put it into the y spot on the other equation. And then I get 9x equals 10 minus 4 times, now here I'm going to plug it in. This is the substituting part. And now I have an equation that's all in terms of x. So 9x equals 10, and it's going to be a minus 12x plus 32. And 9x equals, so 10 plus 32, I'll have 42 minus 12x. And when you have x terms on both sides, you have to get them to the same side. So I'm going to move the minus 12x to the left side. That's going to give me positive 12x, so it's gone here. And then that's 21x equals 42. Divide both sides by 21. And so I get x equals 2, which would be the x coordinate of my answer. So to find the y, I'm going to plug back into, I can plug it into either equation, but the second one's already solved for y, so I might as well use the second one. Y equals 3 times 2 minus 8. Well, that's 6 minus 8, so y equals -2. So my point is 2, -2. All right, so we have a single solution. These two lines intersect. I'm going to show my check here. So plugging into the first equation, 9 times 2 should equal 10 minus 4 times -2. So 18 equals 10 plus 6. Wait a minute, 8. 4 times 2 is 8. 18 equals 18. And in the second equation, -2 equals 3 times 2 minus 8. -2 equals, well, that's 6 minus 8, so that's -2. All right. Number 3 says solve using substitution also. Now this one, what I want to do, neither equation is solved for one of the variables. But if I look at the first one, I see that there's a y here that doesn't have a coefficient. So this would be the easiest thing to solve for. So I'm going to rearrange the first equation. If I move the -2x to the right side, I get y equals positive 2x, because you have to change the sign, plus 3. And then the second equation is still 4x minus 2y equals -6. Now I can take the 2x plus 3, which is y, plug it into the y value in the second equation, and I get 4x minus 2, here's the substituting part, 2x plus 3 equals negative 6. 4x minus 4x, distributing here, watching my signs, and then negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 equals negative 6. But the x terms cancel, and negative 6 equals negative 6. Well, that's always true. So whenever you get a statement that's always true, it means infinite solutions. These two lines are exactly the same line, basically. They're going to be they're right on top of each other. So don't forget to actually answer it. Infinite solutions. Now, if for some reason we had, let's say, negative 6 equals 5, or something that is nonsense, then it would be a no solution situation because the lines would be parallel. Okay, number 4, we're going to solve by graphing. When you graph a line, remember the first thing you want to do is graph the y-intercept. It's y equals mx plus b. There's the general form. B, the negative 4, is where it crosses the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I have to use the slope to get 2 more points. The m, or the 2/3, is my slope. So it's rise over run. I'm going to go up 2, rise 2, right 3. That makes my line go uphill because it's positive slope. Then I'll go down 2, left 3, and I need a ruler. Okay. Let's see, it's probably not the best ruler in the world, but it'll work. And you want to make your lines straight as you can. All right, and then the second line, now I could look at these, I see the slopes are the same. So, but the y-intercepts are different. Those lines are going to be parallel because parallel lines have the same slope, but you still have to graph it. And then plus 5, so the intercept here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The slope is still up 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. And I have my 2 parallel lines. Okay, but the graph isn't the answer. The answer in this case would be no solution because the lines don't intersect. Okay, last one here, and I didn't leave much room. I'm going to go ahead and graph this one first. Now, neither is in graphing form, so I think I better, here, I'll grab some paper. I'm going to rearrange the left one to solve for y. 3y equals 6. Now, you remember when you rearrange them, you want to look at the y term first, and you want to make sure that's positive. It already is, so I'm not going to touch the y term. Instead, I want to move the negative x to the other side, so it's positive x now. And he's gone. So I have 3y equals 6 plus x. Now I have to get y alone, divide everything by 3, and y equals 2 plus x over 3, which I could also write as, here, I'll write it here. Y equals 1/3 x. X over 3 is 1/3 x plus 2. All right, second equation, negative 5x plus 3y equals 6. Again, the y term is positive, so don't touch it. Instead, I'm going to move the x term to the other side, change its sign. Okay, now it's gone. So 3y equals, let me put the 5x in front, plus 6. Divide everything by 3. And y equals 5/3 x plus 2. All right. Y equals 5/3 x. right now I can already see that they're gonna hit at the y-intercept, but so on the left line, y-intercept is right there, up 1, right 3, because the slope is rise over run, 1/3. Down 1, left 3. So my left line looks like this. And then the right line, the y-intercept is 2 also, so that's gonna cross here. My slope is much steeper. It's rise of 5, run of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also positive though. 1, 2, 3. So my line has to go uphill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. All right. So it intersects at the y-intercept. And that would be the point 0, 2.